Good evening, Knicks Nation. Greetings and welcome. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and those that are the first responders trying to save lives every day. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage to keep streets and sidewalks and highways clean. Blessings upon those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women, mostly in law enforcement and other agencies, trying to rescue and deliver the children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia, child prostitution, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery operations, as well as the adults stuck in these industries, some of them up from children to now. And curses upon the perpetrators and the profiteers and the perverts that are involved in this human misery. Blessings also upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children in the United States and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Also, blessings and thank you for those that have come in the chat. I had planned to do a live broadcast tonight because of the fact that I felt like the Memphis game was an extremely important game for the Knicks. Now, I want to just go over a couple of things real quick. First of all, we have to acknowledge Memphis is a really good basketball team. Those guys, there's no two ways about it. This is a really good basketball team. So the Knicks were coming, against a task here that was going to be a tall order in the first place. I mean, Ja Morant, in my view, is MVP. I know everybody is talking about Joel Embiid, and I can't argue with Joel Embiid. But this whole thing about the Joker, I'm not saying the Joker's not having a fabulous season, but Ja Morant has a team that 3 years ago was in the lottery. You know, when they drafted him, they were in the lottery. And now they're the second team in the West. He's in his third season, age 21, and they're second in the West. Okay? And it's obviously because of him. Now, also, another thing we need to consider, they drafted Ja Morant. They drafted Jaren Jackson Jr. at age 18. They drafted Desmond Bane. Okay? These are guys that they picked, their own homegrown talent, and they've been playing them from day one. And those guys have grown together. We don't really know much about that in New York because we haven't done that. But this is an example of a team that was rebuilding, that played to their youth, and now their youth are developing together. And then they added a Steven Adams. Okay, they added pieces around those three. And then, of course, they drafted last season Zaire Williams, who is a revelation. Like I said, I thought the kid had talent. I didn't think he was this good. I knew he was going to be good eventually, but not in his rookie year. And he is turning out to be a very good player in his rookie year. So Memphis is, to me, the surprise team with Cleveland in the NBA, those two teams. And so it was a tall order coming in. The Knicks would have had to play really a perfect game in terms of the strategy to win that game. They did not exactly play a perfect game. I'm not going to blame anybody at this point. But there was a couple of little things that I felt that could have been tweaked that might have turned the game because the Knicks were up. Now, this is the negative thing. I think we've seen this story a lot of times already this season. The Knicks were up double figures in the third quarter, closed the third quarter up, and end up losing, the team coming from behind in the fourth quarter. Okay, so we've seen that. We've seen that story. I don't know. It's sickening. How many? It's like eating the same thing too many times. Last year, I did an orange juice fast, and I planned on doing it for 30 days. But after 9 days, if I saw another orange, I was going to throw up. That's like this story right here. We've been seeing this story. If I see it again, I'm going to throw up because we've been seeing it ad nauseum. Okay. Couple of things though. to begin the game, I think the Knicks got too happy with the Julius Randle success. Now, at certain points in the game, they started going back to initiating the offense through R.J. Barrett, but I think they got a little too happy, going through Julius, and that's one of the reasons you saw the same thing. Second reason is a very obvious one. R.J. Barrett had a bad game. He just had a bad game. He had a bad game on both sides of the basketball. He was getting beat on defense, and offensively, he was 9 for 25. Okay? He did not have a good game. And then in the fourth quarter, they started trying to run the offense through RJ. It wasn't there for him last night. It just wasn't there last night. So that was, thank you, Real One. That was a problem. Okay, RJ was not having a good game. But another problem is this, and I'm going to bring this up. I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but look, your two best defensive players on the Knicks are Mitchell Robinson and Deuce McBride. Those are your two best defenders. The last 3 wins, Deuce has averaged 20 minutes a game, 18, 22, and 20. Those are the last 3 wins. You had him on Reggie Jackson, right? You had him on De'Aaron Fox. You had him on Luka and Brunson. And this cat that you're playing right now tonight, last night, I just finished watching the game, is an MVP candidate. And you could rival him as good as Luka or better than everybody else that he played. So you would think you would want this kid guarding Morant until he fouls out. He played 11 minutes. So that technically, in my view, put him in the rotation last night. But you can't, no, you got to play him. He's got to be guarding Ja Morant 94 feet most of the game. Okay, period. Especially in the fourth quarter. That's number one. I would have liked to have seen, I noticed during the streak, if some of y'all might have noticed, one of the most successful lineups was Morant, and this is after even Cam got hurt. Deuce with Burks and Quickly, a 3-guard line. They played very well together, during the streak, that 3 right there. And I did not see that 3 last night. I didn't see that 3 out there last night. So that's what I would like, especially on a night where Barrett didn't have it going so well. I would have liked to have seen those 3 with Julius and Mitchell Robinson. We didn't see that combination. I was surprised they didn't use that in this game, especially for the speed, the defense, and then of course, so with Julius going pretty good. So I thought they would use that. They did not. Again, these are little nitpicky things that I felt might have given us a chance to win. But overall, look, the Knicks have been on the road for 4 straight games. They're 3-1 on the road. You cannot ask for much better than that. Okay, they're 3-1 on the road. All right, this is their 4th straight game on the road. You can't ask for much better than that. So what's up, Manny? What's up, y'all in the chat? Allah Wise, Yokanan, Stephen Kelly, Real One. Thank you for the super chat, Margaret Edwards. There was nobody was scared last night. Somebody need to stop tripping. This ain't high school, man. People act like this is high school. This ain't high school. These are pros, man. They out there trying to get paid and play. Dudes ain't scared of nobody. Come on now. Dude's like a football player. No, he only got 10 minutes and 43 seconds. That was the problem. They should have had him playing 30 minutes last night. Especially, you did not have a Mobb Deep last night. Okay. You did not have a Mobb Deep. You did not have Obi. You did not have Cam. You did not have Grimes. You had no Mobb Deep last night. And basically now, I will have to admit, and I told y'all this many times, rookie centers whose game is predicated on athleticism. Listen to me carefully now. Rookie centers whose game is predicated on athleticism are going to get a lot of fouls. That's part of the NBA breaking in period. I mean, that's just how it is. That's why you saw that with Mitchell Robinson. Hey, I remember when DeAndre Jordan first came in the NBA, same thing. He was getting in foul trouble all the time because that's what happens to rookie centers in the NBA. It's just par for the course. And so last Friday, what you were seeing, and I'm blaming Thibodeau on this, he should have been playing Jericho Sims from the beginning of the season, because by now, Sims might have been more prepared for a game like this against a Steven Adams. He was making rookie mistakes that you can't blame him for making. That's right. Especially since he didn't start playing until 5 games ago. That's on Tibbs. Okay, that's on Thibodeau. All right. And so I don't blame Jericho. Did not have a good game last night. Tibbs only played him like 5 or 6 minutes. But I don't blame Jericho for that. That's Tibbs. Okay. They started playing him in the G League, but he should have been getting more reps, especially when you saw that. Listen here. You and me, we don't know, how hurt Nerlens Noel was in opening night or how hurt he was in practice. But the Knicks do. And if you knew that he was hurt, you should have been playing Jericho Sims from the beginning. That's the little thing that ticks me off about this here. Okay. So Jericho was ineffective last night, depending on Taj Gibson at age 36. And again, you don't want to reach in that well too much because he's 36 years old. So we could have used some more firepower on the bench. And actually, Tibbs would never do this, but I would have thought you would have had McBride and Quickly playing a lot more minutes together last night. Quickly, for all of the hype that Tom is always hyping him, he was 3 for 8, and I think it was like 1 for 6 from 3. He did not shoot the ball well last night. He plays better when he's with Deuce, a real point guard. And so I would have liked to see them two play a little bit more last night together as a tandem. Or like I said, with the 3-guard lineup with Burks, I would have liked to have seen that more. Or have Burks and Quickly load up your bench, especially you don't have Obi Toppin, you don't have Grimes, you don't have Cam. So your bench is going to be hurting. I would have liked to have seen like Burks be on the bench and have Deuce starting in that game. But Tibbs is not going to do that. Okay. So in those little nuances, to me, would have given us a better chance to win that game. But like I said, you can't complain too much because the Knicks are 3-1 on the road. The toughest road trip in the NBA right now is the Knicks. The Knicks have the toughest schedule in the NBA. And they just played 4 games on the road and won 3 of them. So we can't complain. Now, somebody brought up a good point. I was thinking, Kyrie is going to be there Sunday, but Kyrie's not playing Sunday, right now. So the Knicks have a good chance Sunday, but I really want to see them go back to the formula that won 3 of the last 4 games. That is 20 plus minutes of Deuce McBride, RJ Barrett, because RJ, I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to have a bad game Sunday. He's not. Okay. Now, Memphis, again, that coach, I keep forgetting that dude's name, but he's good. They were shading RJ, and that allowed Randall to go off. But I still think the Knicks were focusing with Randall as the offensive focal point too much because he's not that guy that's going to get everybody involved the way we really want, the way we see RJ do it. But RJ just had a bad game. I'd like to go back to the RJ focal point initiating the offense thing on Sunday. I'd like to see Quickly and Deuce play at least 20 minutes together, 22 minutes together on Sunday. And then, Mitchell Robinson. Come on, man. 16 boards, 8 on the offensive end, 4 steals, 3 blocks. Come on, man. Pay that man. Quit playing. Somebody mentioned that this was the 18th game of the season that Mitchell Robinson has had at least 3 blocks in the game. Pay that man. I don't want to hear it. Pay him. Okay, just get this done. And then an article came out. Somebody claimed, I don't always believe these things. I'll be honest. I don't always believe. Hi, Lewis Luck says they have some interesting decisions. Barrett's contract is coming. They are going to pay Mitch. Are they going to pay Mitch? Do you trade Randall or Obi? Are they going to move on from Tibbs? These are good questions, Lewis. Look, these are good questions. In fact, I did not read the other super chat. Let me read the other one. That one hurt last night. This is from Real One. That one hurt last night. Up 15. We need to bring that one home. Blessings, but that's right. We do need to bring that home. But as far as Lewis Luck's questions, they're good questions. This one of those questions is a no-brainer. They're going to re-sign RJ Barrett. I don't know how much. He's not a max guy, but he's not no min guy either. So I can see RJ getting in the $80 million range. I can see that happening. I can see a 4-year deal in the $80 million range for RJ Barrett. That to me, that's going to get done. They need to pay Mitch. They need to do that. So somebody claimed, I forgot who it was. I forgot who it was, but somebody claimed on Bleacher Report that they talked to 5 NBA executives, GMs or something, and said that Mitch's, or was it 5 scouts, and said that Mitch's value is between 12 and 14 million a year, which is what I've been saying the whole time. I mean, they should really just pay this. They should have paid him in the beginning of the year. And also, we've been saying this. Some of y'all understand. We've been saying this the whole time. The longer you waited to pay Mitch, the more it was going to cost you, because he's just going to get better. Okay, the longer you wait to pay him, the more it's going to cost you. All right. So they should have locked him up, over the summer, but anyway, here you are. So as far as will they pay him, they need to. What are they going to do? I mean, they're not, listen, let's take fantasy basketball off the table. They are not getting Cat. That's not happening. Ayton, what? You're going to let Mitchell Robinson walk for $56 million and get $100 million to Ayton? That don't make no sense. No. Okay. So the best thing they could do is hope to get Mo Bamba and hope you get him cheap. Because if you're going to let Mitchell Robinson walk, he's going to help another team in the playoffs. That's what you're doing, which the Knicks have done many times. So I'm saying they better pay him. Pay him. If it's $13 million, if it's $14 million, if it's $12 million, pay him. Okay? Pay him. Period. Thank you, Josh, a.k.a. Uncle Olio. Taj is the Knicks' best pick-and-roll defender at the 5. I have a debate about that one. Mitch is the best pick-and-roll defender at the 5 to me. But Taj is an experienced pick-and-roll defender. There's no doubt about that. And both of them, together. Well, when he's healthy, Nerlens is a great pick-and-roll defender as well. They got 3 really good pick-and-roll defenders. Taj is Nerlens and Mitch Rob. They're all good pick-and-roll defenders. What happens with Mitchell Robinson is there's less hustle from his teammates when he's out there on the court with the starters. They let him guard 2 guys and don't recover. That's the problem. When Mitchell Robinson's out there and you got Deuce out there and you got, Cam when he was healthy out there and Obi, them cats are hustling. And so Mitchell's game goes up a notch because he's got guys with him that are hustling. That wasn't the case, when he's guarding alone. That's just not the case, But when Nerlens Noel is healthy, he's a really good pick and roll defender. The problem is he's never healthy. The problem is he's not available. Okay. The best ability is availability. So I have to disagree there. He's not the best pick and roll defender. He's really good, but no, he's not the best one. Mitchell Robinson's the best one. Mitchell Robinson. Well, look, let me tell you this. If I was to tell you there is a player, forget his name, Mitchell Robinson. He's 7 foot tall. He's got a 7-foot wingspan. He can leap. He's a pogo stick as a jumper. He's an athletic dude, and he's 23 years old. And he just has had several games with over 15 rebounds. He's had a 21 rebound game. Do you think that player has more upside? That's all I'm asking you. I'm not asking you about his signing. I'm not asking. Does that player have more upside at age 23? Can he get better? Can he get better at age 23? I think anybody would say yes. So he's got upside. So what does that mean? Upside. That means you have not seen the best of Mitchell Robinson yet. You have not seen him at his best yet. And here he is battling Steven Adams with 16 boards, 11 points, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. Here he is outplaying DeAndre Ayton, the number 1 overall pick, right? Here he is being a monster, and he's not reached his peak yet. He's going to get better, okay? He's going to get better. See? So You better pay him now. Period. You better pay him because it's going to cost money. He's going to eventually, he's 23. If he signs a 4-year deal, here's my prediction. If he doesn't get hurt, he's going to get $100 million when he's 27, 28 years old. He's going to get that money. Okay. He's going to get that money at that time. Right now, you better get him now and win with him while you can get him at half that price. To me, it was a no-brainer. I think Leon and them just messed up. Okay, when he was coming off the summer where he couldn't even work out and he was working his way back in shape, you should have re-upped him then. Okay, you should have re-upped him then. Show confidence in him. Okay, and then help him get back in shape. Now you would have got a guy that was much more comfortable with what he's doing right now. But anyway, so that was a good point that was brought up, earlier by where was he? Man, let me catch him again. Louis Luck. Yeah, so. Barrett's contract is a no-brainer. They should pay Mitch. I'm not sure what you do with Randall and Obi, and I'm not sure what they're going to do with Tibbs because you could go either way on all three situations. There's a scenario for each one. So if you decided now, there's certain things that are going to make a decision for the Knicks. What do I mean by that? If somehow by a miracle, the Knicks get the number 1 pick, okay? If they get the number 1 pick this year, by a miracle, it would be a miracle, right? Jabari Smith is the dude. And to me, somebody's going. It's either Randall or Obi that's going. And I would tend to believe it would be Randall. And why? Well, first, look at Leon Rose. He's cheap. And I like that about him. He will save a lot of money getting some expiring deals for Randall's contract. Okay? The second thing that would happen is Tibbs would be fired. Because they're not going to go along with this, I'm not playing rookie crap when they just drafted Jabari Smith Jr. Okay? They would keep Obi coming off the bench. He would get more minutes because he's tandeming with Jabari Smith Jr. Okay, so that would predicate moves right there if that happened. If it didn't happen, that's a different story. If they end up drafting later, fine. But if they got the number 1 pick this year, it's going to be, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's Jabari Smith. And so if you get him, that changes everything for everybody. Okay. Other than that, I don't know what's going to happen. Thank you, BK New York, $10 super chat. If Coach Tibbs is coaching next year, then they will trade Obi. That makes me sad. They need to overpay Mitch, make half the contract bonuses and incentives, get Jalen Brunson. Yeah, this is I don't think even if they went $14 million on Mitch, it's still going to be a $56 million deal. It's going to be a 4-year, $56 million deal. Okay, so that's the most they would pay him. Okay, so that's not even an overpay. That's an accurate pay to me. Overpay would be going 16, 17 million. I don't think anybody's going to do that. But 4 years, 56 million, that's the right money for him anyway. I think they'll get him real cheap if they get him anything less than that. Let's see. Yep. If Coach Tibbs is coach next year, I don't know him being coach makes an Obi trade happen next year. Unless Obi decides he wants to leave. And that could be a situation, in which case they would probably wait till the fall, like not this summer, the summer of 2023 to trade Obi. That would probably be the situation. I don't think they're going to trade him next year because now he would be in his 3rd season. He's in the rotation. Yeah, I don't think they're going to trade him next year if that's the case. Now, under what scenario would Obi get traded? If the Knicks are getting Donovan Mitchell, he might. If they're getting a star guard, if it's DeJounte Murray, a Donovan Mitchell, you might see an Obi trade. Maybe a Jalen Brunson, maybe. Okay, that would be a sign and trade, right? Then you might see Jalen Brunson. Okay. How many of y'all saw Jalen Brunson against Deuce McBride in the Dallas game? How many of y'all saw Jalen Brunson against Deuce McBride in the Dallas game. How many of y'all saw that? So what happened to Brunson in that game? Was he hurt? No, wait. His feelings was hurt. His feelings was hurt. Okay. So the reason I brought that up, and Mark Jackson, thank you for the super chat. Mark Jackson gave a $10 super chat. The reason I brought that up is the money. So Jalen Brunson is going to get $80 million. He's going to get a 4-year deal in the range of $80 million. Okay. And you're paying Deuce McBride $1 million. I think next year he's going to get $1.5 million. And you only have 1 more year of Deuce McBride. So you got 2 players that potentially are pretty much the same. And you're paying one $1.5 million, and you're going to pay the other $20 million. I mean, I don't know. So I know that there's a lot of deep ties, as been well reported. There's a lot of deep ties between Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks, between Jalen Brunson's father and Tibbs and Leon and Worldwide West. There's a lot of ties there. A lot of ties. You can't ignore that. So the reality is, they may go get Jalen Brunson. They may go get him. I'm BKO. You're not crazy. They may go get Jalen Brunson. But I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen with those things. What I'm trying to see right now is what happening Sunday. I want to see them go back to Deuce and Quick on Sunday. And they may be able to do that because I believe Obi is. I would hope Obi was questionable today. So I'm hoping he comes back Sunday. From the hamstring thing. And speaking to the hamstring thing and Obi, man, that's why I wasn't really hyped about him going to the dunk contest, man. I wasn't, because it's like, we want him to help the Knicks win basketball games, man. Not winning dunk contests, that's nice, but you don't get paid for that. You don't get no playoff for that. You don't go to the championship for that. That's not helping you in those areas. And see, now a couple of weeks later, he's got a hamstring issue. That's due to that's jumping and stuff, right? So anyway, I would have liked to have seen him rest over the All-Star break. But anyway, it is what it is. So let's see some of the comments. Yeah, Deuce had that boy on lockdown. He had, he was calling for the keys. He drew the Deuce card and he got locked up. He got a bad hand. He got locked up. See, period. Okay. So, anyway. Now, Donovan Mitchell. Okay, this is the deal. And I want, okay, Donovan Mitchell's under contract. The Utah Jazz do not have to trade him. Okay, he's under contract. What does that mean in these days in the NBA? The players have a lot more power. The Players Association in the NBA, that union, is to me the second most powerful union outside of the Major League Baseball's Players Association. The NBA Players Association has gotten very powerful, particularly since they've gotten the TV deals, the big ESPN deal, ABC deal, and then they've moved into China. Those two things made the NBA extremely, extremely profitable, extremely powerful. So even though a guy's under contract, we have seen a Ben Simmons force a trade. We have seen a James Harden force a trade, right? We have seen Kyrie Irving come and Durant come together to the net. We have seen people force trades that were under contract. Anthony Davis forced a trade. So we've seen this picture before. This is not new. This has happened. So then the question now is, it's not whether the Knicks want Donovan Mitchell. That's not the question. The question is, does Donovan Mitchell want to be traded? That's what it comes down to. Okay. You got to understand that's what it comes down to. Does Donovan Mitchell? So we've heard rumors, but unless you hear from Donovan's representatives, you don't know. You can't really believe for sure any of these rumors till you see Donovan Mitchell or one of his representatives say something. Okay. Thanks, Lewis Luck. I'm not going to get excited about Mitchell. Yes, that's what I'm with you. He said, I'm not going to get excited about Mitchell unless I see it happen. Not hating, but we're Knicks fans. We don't get nice things. I hear you. But, it's a rumor right now. It's not, he's under contract with Utah. So I don't know, if he wants to come to the Knicks. Now, if he says he wants out, no team wants the NBA Players Association on their behind. No team wants the Ben Simmons drama that Philly just dealt with. Nobody wants that. Okay, so they will make the trade. Now, when he's under contract, they're going to ask for a lot. Think of it if it was you. You got an MVP level guy in the middle of the lottery or the late lottery in Donovan Mitchell. Okay, he is taken over and been leading your team to the top of the West multiple times in his short career already. You signed him to a maximum contract. Okay, and he's still helping you win. So if this guy that's yours and you got him locked up for 5 years decides, I want out, what are you going to ask from the Knicks for Donovan Mitchell? You're the GM now. Your job can be on the line. See, some of y'all think in terms of NBA 2K instead of thinking you're a real general manager that's getting paid much money and can get thrown out tomorrow by the owner if you make the wrong decision. That's the way I think about it. So I try to be realistic. What do you want for Donovan Mitchell? You're Utah Jazz's general manager. The owner's he's not happy that Donovan wants to leave in the first place. So now that Donovan said he wants to leave, what do you want realistically for Donovan Mitchell? Well, shoot, I'm starting the conversation with RJ Barrett, right? I'm starting the conversation with RJ Barrett. I'm starting the conversation. I want your first round pick this year. I want your Dallas pick next year. And I want your first round pick from 2024. Okay, because you can't give 2 years in a row. So I want your first round pick this year. I want your Dallas pick next year. And I want your third pick, your first round pick in 2024. And I want a couple of second rounders on top of that. And I want RJ Barrett. And I want Julius Randle. That's how you start the conversation if you're going to let lose Donovan Mitchell. Now, of course, if you're the Don, you're going to say to RJ, sorry, he's off the table. You want to talk about everybody else? RJ's off the table. No. You got to be cold like that. No. So now what? Well, they're going to want Julius Randle, and they're going to say this. I would say this. I want at least one young player, if not two. If I'm not getting RJ, I want 2 young players. And I want 3 first-round picks, and I want 2 seconds. So now RJ's off the table. Who are we looking at? They don't need Mitchell Robinson. They got Rudy Gobert. They're getting Randle. I want Randle first. Got to get the money to work. Okay, got to get the money to work. Randle's making like 25 million, 28 million. Our boy's making like 38 million. So we got to get the money to work. Okay, give me Manuel Quickly and Quentin Grimes. I'm the Utah Jazz general manager. Give me Emmanuel Quickly and Quentin Grimes. Give me Julius Randle. Give me 3 first-round picks in 2 seconds. We get a deal done. Y'all doing that? Because that's what it's going to cost. That's what it's going to cost. That's what it's going to cost. See, you can't just decide looking at it from a Knicks fan perspective, we're going to just give them what we don't need and they're going to just take it and give us Donovan Mitchell. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. They're going to want the world for Donovan Mitchell. Okay? Because and that's, you know what? Because look, you got to go back to your owner and said, we traded our best player who's not even in his prime yet. And the owner wants to know, what are you getting for him? And if you come back with anything less than a steal, you got to get a boatload for him. You're going to get fired. Okay, you're going to get fired. You understand? A lot of Knicks fans be like, well, let's send them. We don't need Sims. We don't need IQ. Let's send them those guys. You can't, that's not, no. If I'm the general manager of the Utah Jazz, I'm starting with RJ and Randle and a whole bunch of picks. Then we can go from there. And then you're going to counter, because you could take RJ off the table and say, no, RJ's off the table. No. And they're going to understand that. Okay, fine. I want 2 young pieces plus first-round picks, and I want Julius Randle. That's what's going to happen. And so they're going to say, oh, shoot, okay, I want Grimes. terrific perimeter defender, outstanding jump shooter. And I want Manuel Quickley. I could pair him with Jordan Clarkson coming off my bench. Give me Emmanuel Quickley. That's what they're going to say. Were you going to do that? You doing that? That's what I'm telling you. Because what will the Knicks have left? So let's say they did that deal. Let's say they did that deal. No number one pick this year. I would try to negotiate a swap, though, if I'm in Leon. And I think I would try to negotiate a swap. And I'd make them other picks like top 5 protected in case we crash, right? But let's say we did that. So now you're going to have Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson. You're going to have Evan Fournier. You're going to have R.J. Barrett. You're going to have Deuce McBride. You're going to have Cam Reddish. Okay. You guys doing that? You're right. You're going to have Jericho Sims. You're going to have Alec Burks still. So what do y'all feel about that? Okay, Kid Funkadelic 77. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Preach raw. Knick fans love to chase the shiny object. You ain't joking, bro. You ain't joking. But that's the real. You want to talk about Donovan Mitchell? That's what it's going to cost you. You're going to have your RJ. You're going to have your Deuce. You're going to lose Quick. You're going to lose Grimes. You're going to have Cam Reddish. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad team. I mean, what y'all think? So I'm not sure even who would start or whatever, but you're going to have RJ from your starting unit still. You're going to have Fournier still. You got him under contract. You're going to have Mitchell Robinson. You're going to have now Obi Toppin starting, at the 4. You still will have a decent team. You're going to have Deuce McBride. You're still going to have him. You're going to have your Cam Reddish. And Cam Reddish to me is first option talent. That's number one option talent right there in Cam Reddish. You got number one option talent. To me, Cam Reddish is a number one option talent. So if you let him have a full summer of getting back in shape, getting healthy, being with the Knicks, I don't know what's going. The sky's the limit to me for Cam Reddish. So you're gonna have still D Rose. You're still gonna have D Rose, right? Probably healthy. So we won't be a bad team. Lewis Luck, thank you again for the super chat. Lewis Luck, Fournier, Kemba, Rose, 2 second picks, and JD. Who's JD? And straight law shot CD. I don't know who's JD. That's not getting Donovan Mitchell. That's not getting him. They'll laugh at you. I would too. I would say when you finish drinking, man, stop drinking. Stop taking that. Put the pipe down. Call me back when you're sober because no, that's not going to happen, bro. A James Doe and a straight shot CD. Okay, I got you, Louis. Y'all crazy. Oh, God, y'all crazy, man. Y'all are so crazy people, man. I'm telling you, y'all are nuts. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I know. That's that sorry daggone. What do you call themselves? Blues? What the hell are they? Bluegrass? I don't even know. Oh, man. They remind me of my brother, man. We used to hang out. We had some really good friends up on Sugar Hill back in the day. And we was hanging out with them. And there were 3 brothers. And they would, they would doo-wop. They would croon, they would do a cappella. You know how dudes just do down in the corner, they would sing like that. And they was good. Them cats was good, right? So my brother insisted on singing with him. I want to sing with y'all, man. Come on, man. Let me in. So they did. Oh my God. It sounded like a car dying, man. And so one of the brothers, 2 of them actually came to me. They said, yo, man, we don't want to hurt your brother's feelings, man. But dang, man, come on. Oh, man. So that's what James Dolan's band is, man. Oh my gosh. RJ's comment. I didn't actually listen to RJ's. I listened to only post-game comment I listened to was I wanted to make sure I was going to hear the broken record from Thibodeau again, which I did. I wanted to hear we got to get better. We collapsed in the fourth quarter. We couldn't get stops. We have to be better on defense. Your best defensive player is on the bench. You got to get better. They were leading the third quarter. Julius played great. Quick hit a shot. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's going a little senile. You know how people that's starting to lose it a little bit, they start to repeat themselves. Drives me crazy. And I'm old, and it drives me crazy. It's like, come on, I heard it. The first 5 times you said it, man. You ain't got to say that again. You see what I'm saying? Joko Bidas is probably worth what he was traded, what he was gotten for, a second round pick. He's probably worth a second round pick. You know, in a trade, instead of giving a second round pick, you can give him Joko Bidas because he's shown that, you know, he could play a little bit, you know, even in the European League and in the summer, he's got potential. He's not a superstar, but he's a crafty dude for 20, 21 years old. He's going to be all right. You know, I like Joko Bidas. And as a matter of fact, if they do end up, you know, letting Johnny Bryant be the head coach. I mean, as much as I like Kenny Atkinson, y'all got to be real, right? We know that if Thibodeau is fired, Johnny Bryant's going to be the head coach, right? That's, you know, so if they let Johnny Bryant be the head coach, Joko Bidas probably coming because he realized he could play. It'll be him, Quickly, and Deuce in the rotation, and then you got J Rose too, D Rose also. So he'll get a chance to play, but yeah, he's worth about a second round pick. Yeah, but let me see. I'm reading. Is Zion Williamson coming? It depends. Think you're Zion again. Let's think about if it's you and you're Zion. Okay, you and RJ are best friends. You like playing in New York. He has actually said New York is my favorite place to play. And then he had to catch it. So, you know, aside from New Orleans, he likes playing in the Garden. RJ is his best friend. They asked RJ, have you and Zion talked about this? And he said, what? We're going to keep that in-house. You know they talking, okay? And then they just traded for Cam Reddish, who is going to play in the rotation when he comes back next year. What are you thinking if you're Zion? What are you thinking if you're Zion? Okay, so first of all, Zion it's going to be a sign and trade. There's no doubt. Even if he becomes a restricted free agent, it's going to be a sign and trade. Okay. And if you know, so you do not need Zion Williamson and Julius Randle. I mean, right? Talk to me, right? You do not need Zion Williamson and Julius Randle. They're both fours. Okay. So now Julius is going. And I think, being that he has played in New Orleans before, I think that's fair. Okay, so Julius is going. So that's the start of your thing. And then, of course, there's going to be a whole bunch of first-round picks involved for that. A lot of first-rounders. I would say 2 first-rounders. Julius Randle, 2 first-rounders, 2 second-round picks, and a young piece. You pick your young piece aside from RJ, obviously, but you pick your young piece. So they're going to want Julius Randle, probably 2 first-rounders, probably 2 seconds, and a young piece. It could be Obi, it could be IQ, it could be, you know, any young piece. They're going to want a young piece. So, you know, but to answer the question, yes, I think Zion could come to New York. Yeah, Louis, who asked that? I missed that. Sorry, but yeah, Louis. I think Zion could come to New York. I think he can. I think there's a strong possibility. That's why I think he got in shape and came back. I think he's playing. I think Zion Williamson is what is the word? Auditioning for the New York Knicks. That's what he's doing. Okay, he's auditioning for the New York Knicks. Okay, so I think it's a strong possibility he comes. No, they're going to need the money to work Eddie Curry. Remember the money now. So Zion is going to be getting paid. He's also up for an extension. So he's going to be getting paid. So I think we keep both Obi and Cam Reddish next year. I think we keep them both. I don't think either of those guys are going anywhere. Yeah. I don't know. Let me ask you all a question. I don't think Is New Orleans a lottery team? Let me see. Are they? New Orleans is right now in the play-in right now. New Orleans is in the play-in right now. So they're not a lottery team, or maybe the end of the lottery, but they're not going to be getting Blanchero. You know. But yeah, I hear you, Don, but that's a very tantalizing. I mean, right? I mean, look, Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, and Cam Reddish. That's a tantalizing lineup, man. Especially if we get to keep Obi Toppin. That's a really tantalizing lineup, man. Obi's a 4. Cam plays the wing, so they could get minutes. Yeah, Obi's a 4. Obi's not a 5. He can play a 5 sometimes, but he's really a 4. Cam can play the 2 or the 3, or small ball 4 also. He's been playing small ball 4 for us before he got hurt. So Cam is very versatile. You can put Cam almost everywhere. So that's no problem. But to answer the question, I think there's at least a 50% chance that Zion Williams can come to New York. I think that's a 50% possibility, which is very high. I think there's a higher probability of Zion coming to New York than Donovan Mitchell coming to New York, because we don't know if Donovan Mitchell wants to leave Utah. If Donovan comes out and says, I want to leave, then the percentages go up. But for right now, if you're asking me today, I think there's a higher percentage chance that Zion Williamson comes to the Knicks than Donovan Mitchell, because it is obvious they've been talking. Zion and RJ have talked. By RJ's non-answer, he answered you. When he said, we're going to keep that in-house, he did not deny that they have had conversations. He could have said, no, I haven't talked to him at all. He did not deny they've had conversations. And Zion has clearly said, I love playing in the Madison Square. There's no place like Madison Square Garden. And he's got a couple of bellyful of New Orleans and the Milkshake Stadium or whatever they got down there in the fishbowl. He got a couple bellyful of that. Okay. It's not like playing in MSG, baby. And Zion, please. I don't want to quote certain guys, but Zion is box office. I mean, I don't think I'm crazy if I say that. Is Zion Williams in box office? When Zion Williams is ready to play, he box office, man. That's, please. Yeah. When Obi wasn't hurt, that's right. Cam couldn't get any burn, but that wasn't a function of Obi. I think that was a function of Fournier and Grimes. Okay, that was a function of Fournier and Grimes. So if you remove a Fournier, Cam is going to play. And he's going to play a lot. You know, I don't know who starts between him and Grimes, but they're both going to play a lot. If you remove, thank you, Sal. I greatly appreciate that. If you remove Fournier, you're going to get both of those kids are going to play a lot. Yeah. So, like I said, the bottom line, I think there's a 50% chance that Zion comes to New York. And I think that goes up to 80% if he does not sign an extension this summer. If he doesn't sign an extension, there's a high chance he comes to New York. A very high chance he comes to New York. I think he's healthy. Keith. I think he's playing possum, man. I think he is. I don't think he's as hurt as. I think that's part of the issue that's bringing out these rumors, because I think he could have come back and he didn't yet. Now he's in really top shape and he's going to come back and he's auditioning for Madison Square Garden. That's what's happening right here. Okay. Yeah. So we'll see. Now, as far as the point guard, yes, obviously we need a point guard. I like Deuce McBride. I would like that, and that's the argument for a Jalen Brunson. There's nobody in. Please don't come at me with Ty Washington. Please don't. He's not the guy. Okay, he's not the guy. I'm not saying he's a scrub. He's not a scrub, but he's not our guy. The long-term answer at point guard. Deuce McBride will be better than him at that position. But the Knicks are going to probably get a veteran, Brunson, or somebody like a Sexton, a Brunson. Somebody's going to come, they're going to get, and it's not going to be no old cat either. Like we just had Kemba that can't play no more. It's going to be somebody that can play. So you're going to get either through free agency, like a Brunson, or through a trade. And anybody, like we talked about Donovan Mitchell, even though he's technically not a point guard, he would be out there as the point guard. And then you would have or DeJounte Murray, whoever they can swing a trade for. They're going to knock on everybody's door that has point guards that are good, and they're going to see if they can get them. If they do, we don't know. I think they're going to go that route. Last year was the year to pick the point guard. Last year was the year to pick the point guard, but they didn't do it. Or the year they got Obi, they could have picked the point guard. They're trying to pawn off IQ as a point guard, but he is not a point guard. He is not. I mean, it's obvious. He's not a point guard. So they could have gotten a point guard the last 2 seasons before this coming draft. This is not the point guard draft. This is the power forward draft. Okay, right. And then you got Orlando, and they got the guy they got from Denver. I forgot his name. They got Fultz. They got Cole Anthony, right? Now, Markelle Fultz will be in his 4th season. I think he's going to be in his 4th season. Whereas the other, and then the cat from Denver, I'm not interested in him. I'm not interested in him at all. I forgot his name. That's how much interest I have in him. I'm not interested in him. I would be interested in Markelle Fultz. I'm not sure if Orlando would want to trade him, but I would be interested in Markelle Fultz. Yeah, Keith, we don't need the cap space if we send back equal salary. We don't need the cap space if we send back equal salary. So, and they can clear cap space. It's not hard. With next year, you're going to have Burks, Noel, Rose, all on 1-year deals. All of those guys are on 1-year contracts. Fournier's on a 2-year contract. No, not Hampton. Not Hampton. The guy they got from Denver. Not Hampton. The other guy. Harris. I think it's Gary Harris, right? Gary Harris. That's the guy. I don't want him. I don't want him. It's his 5th season, Jerry. Okay. But I'm saying is that he's still young and he's got NBA experience. That's all I'm saying. He's been out for over a year, but I'm saying he's still young and he's got NBA experience. He played in Philly. That's the worst place in the world to play. That's even worse to play than New York. Philly's a terrible place to be a basketball player. Those fans are ridiculous. So, but, he played in Philly. He can make it in New York. He'll be all right. So I would take Markelle Fultz if I could get him. And they just re-signed him. He's locked up, not for, a max deal either. He's a good contract. So we don't need, we can create cap space. That's not difficult. We can get expiring deals. We can send that out equal money for whoever we want to get. Okay, we could do that. We got the flexibility to do that. And teams would want to do that because of the fact that if we can send you a Randall, say with Kemba, whoever's on a 1-year deal, you got an expiring contract, you just created cap space. See, so there you go. So the Knicks, my point is that they're not going to draft a point guard this year. They're going to draft the best player available. And to me, the likelihood of it is going to be either a wing or a power forward. So, because that's what this draft has. It's strong in power forwards. Next is you got a couple of 5s, but and you got some good wings. The kid Griffith from Duke is a good wing, solid wing. You got some good wings out there available. So, but the power forward position is the spot this year. That's what everybody's going to, that's where you got most of your talent in this draft. So they'll be looking at that. But Zion could come to the Knicks. If you're going to talk about a point guard, they're going to probably either trade or sign one in free agency. And they're probably targeting Brunson, number one, because of his relationship with New York. And you could do a lot worse than Jalen Brunson, right? I mean, let's think of the point guards we played. We've been playing Alec Burks at point guard. I don't know. I remember that 37-year-old cat they were playing with. Hornacek was the coach. Oh, my God. I mean, we've had some winners, man. And then you had the tank commander, Moutier. I mean, come on. So Jalen Brunson's a step up from all of those guys, right? So Jared Jack. Oh, my gosh. Yes, Jared Jack. You had Jared Jack. You had Moutier. Last year we had Alfred Payton, who couldn't, hit the broadside of a bomb, but was a defensive player at least. That's why we were good on defense last year. But, so, yeah, there's all that. They were going to trade Cam Reddish this year for an expiring deal. That's what they were doing. And they would have created a lot of cap space if they did that. they were going to get rid of a lot of money, and Cam Reddish was the carrot. But yeah, Chris Duhon. Yeah, now I don't want them to trade Cam Reddish either. Honestly, I'd rather see them fire Tibbs than trade Cam Reddish. What do y'all think? I'd rather see them fire Tibbs than trade Cam Reddish. I want Cam Reddish back. I want Cam Reddish back. Okay, I want that, brother. Bring him back. Okay, bring me back some Cam, man. Because that kid, to me, he's got too much talent, man. He's got too much talent. For Sexton, that's again going to be a sign and trade. So we are sending back equal money for Sexton. Now, how much you're going to pay Sexton, I don't know. I'm thinking Sexton is 80 million. So you're going to have to send out 20 million. And I could see that happening. That's a sign and trade. Remember, like Cleveland don't need really any more players. They could use some expiring deals. So we can send them that. No, there's no money issues with the Knicks getting anybody this summer. Between signing trades and the expiring deals we have, they're in good shape as far as money. We on paper, it doesn't look like we have any money, but we do. We can, believe me, things get done, yo. Things get done. That's what I'm saying. Especially, when you got a guy like the Don, that's one thing he could do. He could swing a trade now, and he could get a draft. He know how to draft him. He don't necessarily get the right guys, but he could swing a trade. Okay. Yeah, please. Now, I wouldn't want to be head coach of the Knicks. All right, I'll be head coach of the Knicks. You give me, 3 years, 12 million. Okay, I'll do it. I'll let y'all boo me out of town and run me out of town for 12 million. I'll do it. Otherwise, I say no way, Jose. Man, that's a tough job, New York Knicks head coach, man. Please. To have Mark Berman up in my grill every day? Oh, my gosh, man. I'll probably lose it. Nah, but yeah, so I just want to see us go back to the basics of winning us the first 3 games on Sunday. I want to see my man Deuce get 20 plus minutes. I want to see the offense run through RJ. I need Deuce guarding whoever's out there hot in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Period. Okay. I don't need Tom tripping with, IQ going 3 for 8, 2 for 9, and thinking that he's winning us the game. No. Okay. If you're going to play this boy, put him out there with Deuce. Okay. And let's go from there. All right. But yeah, so we'll see. Like I said, I believe very strongly. I think there's a high percentage chance, like at least above 80, that the Knicks are going to acquire a point guard this summer. The question is whether they get that point guard through free agency or through a trade. They're going to get a point guard. I really believe they are. I don't know who it's going to be. I have to believe, based on everything we know, that Brunson's the leading candidate. But you got to assume Brunson wants to be there in Dallas if he does. And did you also notice how the minutes were distributed in Dallas against the Knicks? Like they were playing Spencer Dinwiddie, and Jalen Brunson wasn't getting as many minutes as he normally would get. I think that bodes, I think that bodes well for him wanting to come to New York. And if he wants to come to New York now, if it was up to me, I'd be looking at Sexton and Mitchell before Brunson. No question. I'd be talking about Sexton and Mitchell before Brunson right now. Okay. But it's not up to me. And I'm trying to tell you, I'll be realistic. Tibbs, Worldwide West, and Leon love Brunson. They love Brunson. So he's probably going to be the guy. And the way they played him the other night, I don't think he liked that too much. And I want to see what happens. Do y'all know, is Tim Hardaway done for the year, or is he just out for temporary? I want to see it. Is Tim Hardaway done for the year? Or what's the deal with him? Let me see. Oh, yeah, I think he's done for the year. Yeah, stress fracture on his left metatarsal on his left foot. Oh, yeah, I think he's done for the year. So Tim Hardaway gone. So, yeah, that's a tough loss. So, yeah, that's why they got both of those cats. But, yeah, Timmy's out for the year. I just saw that. Yeah, Timmy's out for the year. So, because that would be interesting if Timmy Hardaway was coming back, but he's not. Yeah, I think 80 million for Sexton is much better spent than it is on Brunson. I just think Sexton is just, way more upside and a way more dynamic player than Brunson. Brunson, you can't sleep on him though. He crafty, man. To me, Brunson is Lowry light. That's what Brunson is. He's Kyle Lowry light. That's what I think of Brunson. He's Kyle Lowry light. But don't sleep on him. But Sexton's a fire hydrant of dynamite, baby. I mean, daggone. That's Sexton. So, but we'll see. But they're not going to. Cleveland's not keeping Sexton. He's going. I don't know where he's going somewhere. I don't know where he's going, but he's going somewhere. Yeah, you might be right about that. Gumby Jeff 21. You might be right about that. He might sign a prove it deal and come back and try to bust it out and get more money. Okay, but anyway, I want to thank y'all for all the super chats, man. I wasn't expecting all that. Y'all been very generous to your boy tonight. I greatly appreciate that. And I want to thank you all for showing up tonight. I got 158 likes. It looks like, 56 likes. So y'all like me a little bit. The hell with y'all. Y'all know me, man. Please. Does Sexton have good court vision? He hasn't shown it. But I think the talent is there, right? The talent is there. He hasn't shown it. He hasn't shown it. He hasn't shown it though. But he's an attack dog. He is 2 levels above Emmanuel Quickly. Put it that way. That's Sexton. He's an attack dog. Really, he'd be dynamic off the bench, but I wouldn't mind starting him. But he's an attack dog. And not only that, he's a junkyard dog on defense too. I mean, this cat is just a player, man. Anything can happen. Anybody can be traded, Vevo, but I don't think they trade Cam. I really don't think they do. I mean, we'll have to see what happens because, like I said, if Tibbs is fired and they bring in and they let Johnny Bryant coach, then Cam is staying. And if they trade Fournier, Cam is staying. Right? If they trade Fournier, Cam is staying. If they trade Burks, if they trade Fournier or Burks, Cam is not going anywhere. And they could very well trade one of those guys or both of them. So we'll see what happens. Because daggone Sexton will get you buckets, man. And he will draw attention. There's no question. And that's what I like about him. Last year, the argument was between him and Lonzo Ball. And like I said, there were times when Lonzo Ball's on the court and you don't know he's on the court. That doesn't happen. When Colin Sexton's on the floor, you know he's out there. He's always in something. You know he's out there. Okay? You know he's out there. Bledsoe over the hill, finished, old. No. He been over the hill. When they sent him to the Bucks, he showed he was over the hill then. Okay, done. I hope he keeps getting paid long as he wants. But don't come to the Knicks. We don't need him. No, he's done. We already had one over the hill point guard. Just now. We just had one. We don't need another. Okay, give me somebody that got some years left. Somebody that's not in their prime yet. Okay? I'm tired of these over the hill cats, man. No. Bledsoe done. We should have got Bledsoe like 8 years ago when he was on Phoenix. That's when we should have got him. But too late. Done. That's why you seen him getting dealt like a card, man. Come on. Nah. He's done. Yeah, no more old cats, man. Let's get somebody in here that's young, that's not yet in their prime. Usually Brunson is 25. I think he's gonna be 26. He's not in his prime yet. He got a year or two before he hits his prime. He's all right, right? Then you got Sexton is nowhere near his prime yet. Okay, so you got some possibilities. DeJounte Murray's not in his prime yet. Of course, Fultz ain't reached his prime yet. You got a lot of guys you can get. These over the hill cats, man. We've been doing over the hill point guards too long, man. I mean, come on, let's get somebody young in here. Let's get a bulldog in here. Somebody that could do some things, man. Come on, So I think they could do that. Yeah, I think we could. I think this summer we should be able to nail one. I think we should. Yeah, man. Yo, speaking of nursing homes, some of y'all remember, didn't I tell y'all that the Lakers was the Geritol team? Wait, didn't I say that at the beginning of the season that they were overhyping the Lakers, that they were The Geritol crew. Didn't I tell y'all that? Was I right or wasn't I? Are they the Geritol crew or what? I told you they was the Geritol crew, man. All behind a whole bunch of old dudes, like Uncle Drew. Pass the ball, Kobe. I said, pass the ball, Melo. Nah, man, this is the real life. This ain't no movie, man. Even LeBron gets old. And he scored 50-60 the other day. But even he gets old, man. And Father Time is undefeated. Okay? All of them was chasing that ring, running over there, minimum contract, trying to get a ring with LeBron. It's over now. LeBron better connect with some young cat and try to win a ring. And then I knew Anthony Davis, as good as he is, that cat is not available when you need him. The only reason they won the title with him was because he was in a strike shortened season, which he was hurt. I mean, the COVID shortened season, which he was hurt anyway. And they only had to play that bubble. That's, you give him an NCAA tournament type situation, he could win. But you ask him to go in the 82 grade and grind and then go through 4 rounds of playoffs, he ain't going to be there. And that's what happened, man. Please. Cleveland said they don't want LeBron. You heard Garland? He said, we don't need LeBron. So we don't need LeBron. They don't want him back. No, they don't. Cleveland don't need him now. Salute Will Beggs. Thank you. No, Cleveland don't need him. Nah, he out there with the Geritol crew, man. They done overhyped him. The NBA needs him to make more money. So that's why they hyped him up, But please, them cats too old, man. Shoot, who they gonna hire next? Clyde Frazier? Who they gonna get next? Shoot, they get all these old cats be showing up in ambulances to play. Come on, man. Wait. No, I don't need LeBron on the Knicks. No. Give me some young cats, man. Give me some young dudes. Yeah, give me some young dudes, man. Yeah, Westbrook. Oh, man. Look, that coach needs to be fired. That's not really a coach's fault, but Pelinka needs to be fired, man. How you gonna bring Westbrook in there? You give up Kyle Kuzma, please, man. Yeah, they be all showing up to the games in ambulances on crutches. Oh, let me stop, man. Let me stop. Oh, man. So yeah. All right. I'm scared. I'm doing a workout today. I'm hitting the daggone treadmill, man, trying to lose some weight on my old behind before I go to my grandson's graduation. So let me get that done. Yo, thank y'all very much. We had fun today, didn't we? I mean, we had fun. And the Knicks lost. But look, like I said, don't complain. They 3-1 on this road trip, man. So a tough road trip. Everybody, including myself, was like, okay, this is not going to work out too well. But you can't complain 3-1 on the tough West Coast trip that you beat the Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks on their home floor. I mean, the Kings, okay, but that's a game we would lose too. I mean, after all, we done lost to Oklahoma City and Orlando. So anything's possible. They really, so big up to the Knicks. They doing good. I want this game against Brooklyn on Sunday, especially if Kyrie Irving's not playing. Give me some deuce. Let's do this thing. Quit playing around, kids. Dude started tripping Friday night a little bit. Okay, come on. Let's get back on our game now. Okay, let's do what we're doing. That's right. I can play point guard for the Lakers on the NBA minimum. Hey, listen, I don't need no crutches. I don't need no walking boot. I don't need no ambulance. My limo ain't no ambulance. I could do that. Yeah, last night was on tips. I ain't gonna front. He did mess up a little bit, man. Come on, your best defensive player against you got. Come on, man. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Please. Thank you. 2189. Yeah, right. Lakers is Turner Classic Movies. You ain't joking. Daggone it. You ain't joking. Daggone Anthony Davis can't walk and chew gum without hurting himself. Daggone it, man. LeBron is like 100 years old. Melo's like 100 years old. Oh, my gosh, man. Nah, man. Nah. Yeah, I was, Jeremy, that's not impossible. That's not impossible. They don't won 3 out of 4. So, let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. Of course, if they do that, I don't think they fire Tom Thibodeau. If the Knicks end up with 40 wins this year, they're not going to fire Tom Thibodeau. They're not going to. But if Tom Thibodeau doesn't play Deuce McBride 20 plus minutes a game, they're not going to have that record. Okay? It's really simple. If you don't play Deuce McBride at least 20 minutes a game, preferably closer to 30, you're not going to win a lot more games. If you keep doing the same thing you've been doing, you're going to get the same result. He keeps thinking because Randall gets 30, that somehow they're going to get a stop in the fourth quarter. Does that make any sense? RJ can't get 40 every night. He's not going to be good like that every night. So don't get me started. Anyway, thank you for the super chat, 2189. Please enjoy the rest of this weekend. Tomorrow, I think it's a 1 o'clock game, right? It's a 1 o'clock game tomorrow. It's a 1 o'clock game tomorrow against Brooklyn. Really a home game for us. So let's do this. And after the game against Brooklyn, who they playing? They playing the Trailblazers. The Trailblazers on the 16th. And then they got the Wizards at home the following game. So let's hope Tom don't lose his mind and do something stupid tomorrow. And let's see what happens, okay? I know. But anyway, y'all be safe out there, please. Shalom. Thank you.